Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
Because then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist.
This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening.
It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So, is there something you'd like to work on, or a part of yourself you'd like to get to know better?
Okay, so my cousin, who I had a good relationship with, is in Las Vegas. She came 2 days ago, and a day yesterday, she told me about how happy she finally is. She's been depressed for a long time, and that was great.
Yeah.
Then she started talking about God and how that's why she's happy. She finally found something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was okay with that, fine. And then it got very, very fast in a very, very manic way about me and that I should believe in God. And of course, my natural reaction is fuck you and fuck your God.
Yeah.
So, no. And then she started talking about how, there are even churches that love LGBTQ people.
Mm-hmm.
And my reaction, and I said none of this. I had to manage my emotions very, very strongly.
Yeah.
Because I had, I always have the manic thought, but I now know how to not use it. Using a skill called diffusion, which is a CBT skill. We'll talk about diffusion, but maybe in the future. It's a very, very useful skill.
Okay.
But I can choose. I'm aware now that I can't change or control which thoughts I have. But I can always choose which thoughts I use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in that.
Makes sense.
And so, I didn't say, fuck this shit. Why the fuck are you selling me this shit? I had it though in my brain. And then, I had other thoughts personally, I don't feel the idea of anybody having that kind of power. It does not make me feel safe. It makes me feel unsafe.
Uh-huh.
And I know that you're not a big believer in the Enneagram, but type 5 is a type that I am, which is a very logical thinker who, everything matters to me. That's what's safe. I am all about being safe.
Uh-huh.
Safe means everything to me.
Yeah.
Deep inside of me, safe is a thing that I care about. And so if your God does not make me feel safe, I don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
And she was not able to listen to any of it. because I think she was kind of manic. And so what she thought was, to her, completely correct, and nothing else could be correct.
Yeah.
So this is the feeling that I have right now.
The feeling of this
angry.
Anger towards her, or about the whole situation?
A little bit about her and about the fact that, like, all right, so I have OCD. And when I feel unsafe, I will, my compulsive thing is I will touch my neck to make sure that my heart is slow, because my biggest fear is having a seizure, right?
Right.
This is not a very, very logical thing, but it's just logical enough for my brain to think that it's helpful. And as she was talking about how, like, the reasons why, you know, LGBT churches will be fine with me, and it'd be fine, and I'd be part of it, I was touching my neck a lot.
Yeah.
Which is how my husband was very aware that I was not feeling safe.
Yeah.
I just want to give you that information before we start.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, we talked about the touching of the neck last call, and in fact, the part that you were talking to was concerned about your safety, and it talked about how it wanted you to go easier on yourself about the neck touching, because apparently you're doing it a lot less.
I will say that I did not feel bad about touching my neck. Which is not always true. Sometimes I do feel bad, like guilty about it.
Yeah.
I did not feel guilty that time.
It sounds like you're honoring what that part was asking of you, at least.
Well, because that part of me has also actually made me safe.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we talked about last time.
Like I've done things because of this need to be safe that actually did make me safe. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, our last talk really showed me that it is not 100% incorrect. It's not wrong all the time. Yeah. You know, and so, like, okay, being, like, consciously aware of that does give me the ability to be thankful for that part of me. Yeah. This was more of a character inside of me that was mad as fuck, that didn't use any of those emotions, but fucking had them. Yeah. And is that something that you feel, I mean, it sounds like that it was triggered by this conversation with your cousin. Is that something that is very unusual? Like how often does that come up for you? How often are you going to that place of anger in a conversation, for example? Or anytime? Not really. Anytime, yeah. It's not something that I go through very much. And I have a couple reasons for that. First of all, I don't use a lot of social media. And I do that for a reason, because I don't want to be angry. Sure. And social media lately is all about being angry. And so I only do the amount that I need to use to, like, promote stuff and maybe watch, like, you know, a video or something, but really not a crazy amount. Yeah. And I actually am calmer because of it. Yeah. You know, it sounds to me like you're very cognizant of your anger, that you know how to put yourself in situations that limit it, that even when you're in that space, you're managing it, as you were talking about, the things you didn't say, and even your fear response is something that you're feeling pretty good about and not having shame around. I am feeling, and this is a slow, like, years kind of thing, slowly feeling less guilty about that I am a fearful person. You know, but there's a reason for why I'm fearful. Like I tried to kill myself. I was as close to being dead as you can be, and now I have a TBI, and I had to relearn my entire every skill I have now, including the entire language of English. So like even that fear and that safe fear, like it comes from something, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's what we were uncovering or agreeing on last time, and I'm totally with you. And I mean, we all have a need for safety. That's right at the bottom of the pyramid, if you will. Of we gotta stay safe. So
yeah. So yeah, there's let's use IFS thinking, and there is a character inside of me that wants to say all of these very, very mad things that would not be useful in any way, right? I'm consciously aware they're not useful thoughts, but they are there. And because of my brain, again, the OCD way I think, it's kind of a loop now.
Yeah.
And the loops don't change. They just think about them again and again and again and again and again.
Okay. So you'd like to change your relationship with that so that at least you're not having that looping?
Yeah, I would like to talk with that character. And is character a good word for IFS?
Sure. We generally use the word part, but parts are like individuals. They have their own directions and they have their own intentions, and they might even have their own parts. So I think character is a fine word for them.
That's why I'm using character, actually. So that's good. The reason I'm aware of this, the reason why I'm having the loop of thinking about it again and again and again, is because that's my brain thinking that that's making me safe.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can help. Maybe I can help with that. We'll just
okay, let's do it.
We'll give it a shot if it's right with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So where is this character residing in your body or around your body?
Let's see. It's in my feet, like the bottom of your feet. Like when I'm walking, I need my feet to be on the ground. They're connected with the ground, and the ground to me is staying safe. That's the ground for me.
Okay. And where is the angry part? Shoulders, okay. And what's it like? What other qualities does it have?
It's loud.
Okay.
It wants to be calm, it just can't be.
Yeah. And yeah, just keep trying to turn towards this part and turn inward and really focus on it, and see if you can see what else you can see about it. Are you able to see it, or are you just sensing it?
I do have a list as kind of a twirl of these colors, right? And every color is a different deep needed emotion.
Okay.
So like minty green for me is confidence, while pink is relaxing. Like these are all the deepest needed emotions to live well. And so right now my blue color is calm.
Uh-huh.
And the inverse version would be angry.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so it means that my blue is not happy.
Okay.
And so what would I do? I would thinking about which color might make it a calmer version of itself.
Okay. Well, again, I think we're trying to identify and get to know the angry part, I think.
Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it.
Well, we can do it any way you want, but it sounds to me like that's the part. That's the part you'd like to.
I would do something a little new, so let's do this way.
Yeah. The idea is that we can get to know a part, and then we can find a better way to work with it. So if you're having, if the anger is coming up, and then you're having difficulty working with it, with the looping, for example, then we could get to know the angry part, or maybe we could get to know the looping part. Maybe that's a part. Maybe you don't. Maybe you already understand the anger quite well, and it's the looping part that you'd like to change your relationship with.
This is interesting. I will say that I personally, and this is just because of my life after my TBI and how OCD has been in my life, I would be amazed if we could change this. I'm not saying we can't, but I would be amazed.
Uh-huh.
Just because that's like changing OCD, and that's just a crazy hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm just saying that's how I feel.
Okay. And I have no reference either way. So it's all amazing to me. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, would that make sense to just try to talk directly to the looping part?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Where does that part reside in or around your body? What does it feel like?
Let's see. It's definitely my neck, which is my compulsive thing.
Okay. Great.
Because that makes me feel safe.
Okay. Focus on that part. Turn towards it. See if you can see what else you can see about it. Any other qualities about it?
It is from my subconscious. It's not something that I consciously would want.
Okay.
And so it has to be my subconscious because it's not conscious.
Yeah.
Although there are also there's a super conscious. Like, do you know about that?
I do, but I don't. I just want to focus on one part at a time because that's the only way I know how to. That's the only way I know how to do this. And so
I totally get it. I'm the same way when I'm working, so I just be more professional. I'm the same way. Okay, so
we're trying to figure out the qualities of this looping part. What is it like? What does it feel like? What does it maybe even look like? If it was in the room with you, what kind of character is it?
Kind of a super, super tight person.
Okay.
Very, very, very tight person.
Yeah. And can you see this person?
Kind of, it's a body and a face, but it has no. It's completely white. Like there's no information, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a white drawing that looks like a person.
Yeah. And earlier you said you don't want it. How do you feel about this part? How do you feel towards it?
I get what it's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is trying to make me safe. It thinks that as long as I'm thinking about this, it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
it's not a very logically strong thought, but it is, that's where it comes from.
Yeah. And your just feelings about it, does it, when you're experiencing this looping, are you mad about it? Are you frustrated about it? Like, how do you experience it? And what do
I
you...
used to be really mad about it. I
Yeah.
used to be really annoyed and super mad about it. And now I'm almost more like, okay, this is how my brain works, and I'm not perfect, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely seeing that, like, it wants attention, and so if I over thinking about it, like, one of the biggest problems with people with OCD is we overthink everything. That's the thing. It's true with every person with OCD. We overthink about everything, and so you can't solve a problem by overthinking it, because that's why you have OCD. You know?
Yeah. So, do you feel like you're open to getting to know this part now?
The actual loop. Let's try it.
The looping part. Let's
try it.
Can you ask it or let it know that you'd like to get to know it? And then just...
Hey, loop.
Yeah, go ahead and let it know and just see how it reacts.
You are a crazy bitch, but let's learn about each other.
Yeah, so the part of you that's calling it a crazy bitch, even if that's with endearment, and I feel like I hear some endearment there because you're close to this part, right? Let's just see if we can ask any of those parts that have the judgment about it, if they'll just give us some space just so we can get to know it.
The one thing I do want to say is that gay men, the word bitch is usually a positive word.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, I'm straight, and it's positive in my world too.
Okay.
But yeah. So just any of that judgment that you have about it, just see if you can ask those parts that are feeling judgmental for some space, just so we can get to know this looping part.
Okay.
And see how they react to that.
They're open.
Great. So ask the looping part, what does it want you to know? And just wait for
What do you want to know?
Yeah, just wait for the answer.
It's saying this is what it knows works. This is what it's got.
And does that make sense to you?
It's also saying it knows that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's saying, I'm not perfect. This entire loop thing is not perfect, but this is what we got.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
And does that resonate with you? Does that make sense to you that this is what you got and it works?
Yeah, I mean, I actually do. I like deep inside of me, I do get that. You know, everything does mean safe means more to me than it does for a lot of you. Like, it's everything to me.
Okay.
And so this is my brain trying to give me what I want.
All right. Tell that to the part that you get it and that it does mean more to you than anything, that safety.
I get that safe is everything to me.
Yeah, let the part know. Let the part know that you feel that.
I'm thinking about the loop right now. I am aware that you are doing what you believe is going to make me feel safe, and you know the problem right now, Loop, is that I don't have any data saying that you are wrong.
Okay.
I also don't have a lot of data saying that you are correct.
All right, good. So we can leave the data stuff out. Now, you and I both, we're logical thinkers and we like to have the data. Let's call that another part of ourselves. And that part that needs the data, ask it for some space. All we want to do is get to know the looping part and get some information from it. So the part that needs the data, just see if you can ask that for some space in this short conversation. And just
focus. Logic, can you just give me some time to be all emotional and shit so I can get close to
we can some time for us to listen. I'm not asking you to get emotional. I'm asking you to listen to this part.
Okay, that's actually a lot easier than getting emotional, so let's do that.
Yeah. So it told you what it wants you to know, and it's saying, hey, this works, and it knows it's not perfect. And so I'm asking you to show it some appreciation for that, and show it some compassion for what sounds like a difficult job. It knows it's not a perfect solution. It's trying anyway. And just see if you can show it some compassion. See if you can, any way that you can show it some appreciation for what its intention is.
Thank you, Luke, for caring about me. So I don't know if I ever told you this, but I make like a lot of emotional images, and one of them shows the relationship between love and fear, because this image shows that both fear and love are caring about you in different ways, but they are both caring about you.
Mm-hmm. How did the looping part react to you saying that to it? Or did you say that to it? Did you see yourself saying it? Did you see? Yeah.
Well, in my brain, I have this image that I've made. I make a lot of digital painting that talks about emotions, and my loop is saying that yes, it is the fearful of those two, but it is caring about me.
Yeah. Has it felt that you care about it? Have you been able to show it that? And does it feel that? How does it react to that?
It's aware that this is a new-ish relationship with my loop. I used to be very mad and annoying and a little bit like kind of rude with the loop part of me.
Yeah.
But I especially after I made this image, I'm really deeply starting to see that it is caring about me.
Okay, I hear you saying that, and I'm asking you, does it know that you care about it?
I think so.
Can you just show it right now? Could you think about giving it a hug? Can you think about showing it a smile?
I can smile. I'm not a big hugger, but
yeah, however you do it, and whatever that care looks like for you, try to give that to the loop.
I'm smiling right now.
And how's it reacting to that?
It is. It's saying I don't have to say anything.
Okay.
Because I know what it is. I know what it does. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Which is nice because I don't want to.
Which is fine.
I'm not a very strong communicator.
It's fine. You can however you work is fine. I just want to make sure that the loop part, as its own part, it sees that you are curious about it, and it sees that you are appreciative of it.
I have an interesting question for you.
Okay.
The kind of work that we've done 2 times now uses a lot of focusing therapy, which my husband was it he's all about focusing therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you learned anything about focusing therapy?
So you're asking me about my experience in learning about therapy.
Well, exactly, especially with focusing therapy, because that sounds. I've done all of this kind of stuff that we're doing right now, including my shoulders or legs. All of this I've done with my husband, and he's a focusing coach.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if you have any interest in focusing therapy.
Yeah.
Because is kind of what we're doing right now.
I think there's a part of you that's wondering that about me, and it's taking you away from communicating with the loop. And so I
totally see that being true. Oh my God, yeah, totally.
And so I would ask the part that wants to learn more about me, or the part that needs data, or the part that has a story to tell. I would ask all those parts for space, because we talked about getting to know the loop as our goal.
Right. And I could totally see my brain being like, nope, here's something else.
Well, they're parts. Think of them as parts.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that wants to talk about all kinds of other things, as do I. There's part of me that wants to be outside playing in my garden right now. There's part of me that wants to be eating ice cream, and so and what I'm doing with those parts is I'm saying, okay, part, I hear you. And if you'll just give me some space, I'm talking to Christopher right now. And I want you to do the same and tell your parts that are pulling you away from your focus with the loop to please give you some space while you do this and see how they react.
This is not a lot like diffusion in CBT, because in diffusion,
I don't want. You know what, Christopher? I'm going to stop you. I don't want to hear you explain diffusion to me.
Okay.
We're here to talk. We're here to talk to the loop. We're here to talk to the loop.
Okay. I'm doing it again.
Yeah, and that's okay. And maybe there are some strong parts in you that are saying, no, we don't. I don't want to talk to the loop, and we can hear them out. That's okay. But I'm still curious if this loop has really seen your affection and your appreciation of it.
It's saying right now that it wants to be alone.
Okay.
Because it's saying that it feels safe alone, which is actually how I personally am as a person. In big groups and a lot of people, I feel less safe than when I'm alone.
Okay. And of course, I want to respect that. And so if it feels right for you to stop talking with the part, or for you and the part to stop talking with me, that's fine. And if we were going to go on, I would ask it basically, what is it afraid will happen if it doesn't do the looping? That would be my big question for it, and that I would.
I want to ask that actually. Yeah. Okay, so loop, if we did not,
and keep in mind, you don't have to share the answer with me. If it wants to be alone, it doesn't want to tell James or the world how it feels, that's fine. It could be just between you and the loop. It could be kind of alone inside of you with you. But yeah, what is it afraid will happen if it doesn't do the looping?
It is saying that if I was not super consciously aware of what might happen all the time, that it might not become a deep aware. So it might be, how do you say that? Was not deep. Was the antonym of that?
Shallow. It'll feel like it's being It'll feel like it's being ignored.
Yeah, or not ignored, but shallow.
Yeah.
That's a good word for that. It's shallow, which means that I will not remember it, or I will not remember to be aware of it, or how to react correctly.
Yeah. You won't be as affected as deeply.
One of the things that you also should know about OCD is that people with OCD have fears of not being perfect.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people do. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, the part of Christopher that needed to tell me that. And
okay.
I want to get back to the loop, if we may.
Sure.
Okay. So it's telling you if it doesn't get your attention that way, then it's afraid you won't have the deep enough warning sign of the danger, right?
Right.
Yeah. So again, let it know that you get that, and that you appreciate that, and that even maybe you should try showing it some sympathy for what sounds like a very difficult job that it does.
It is really hard for it.
Yeah. How does it react when you say that? How does it react when it hears you say that?
Thank you.
Great. Now ask it this question. If you could change that so that you didn't need to be told more than once, let's say, because we do you're appreciating that it's that it gives you the warning signs, but you're not really appreciating being told over and over and over. So if you could change it so that you didn't need to be told over and over, and that you did get the message deeply, what else would it like to do inside of you? What other job would it like to do if it didn't have to work so hard telling you over and over? Ask it that question.
It's saying that if it was not, it's an instrument. And so it's saying that if it was not all about me being safe, it wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Right. And so again, we're not talking about getting rid of it. I'm saying, what if it knew that when it gave you the message once, when it said, hey, this isn't safe, what if you got it and you did feel it deeply? Then what would it do differently? What would it like to do with its energy instead of telling you over and over again?
Maybe changing my focus to solving other problems.
Yeah. Can it show you? Go ahead.
I will say that the loop thinking takes a lot of energy.
Sure.
It does take a lot of energy to live this way.
Yeah, just let it know that you get that you feel that lot of energy that it takes, and that you want something better for it, and you want to show it some options. If it wants to be creative, if it wants to solve other problems, try showing it what that would look like, or asking it what it would look like. What would it look like for it to solve other problems instead of using the energy the way it does?
It's saying, because it's always worried about my bipolar, right? It's always worried about that.
Yeah.
So it's saying, but I have to remember that I will never be able to solve all of my problems. And if I thought that I ever could solve every problem, that's more manic thinking than it is real.
Yeah. But you were saying that it would like to spend more of its energy doing some problem solving and working on other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just asking you to kind of imagine that with it. Just even, it could be fun. It's a fun, okay, what problems, what puzzles would it like to solve? What would it like to be doing? And maybe you don't have a exact answer for that, but you can try just trying that on for size, kind of let that part see what it would look like to have that role of problem solver instead of reminding over and over about danger.
I just had a thought.
Yeah?
A video that I usually have, like, a lot, actually, of having a seizure.
Having a seizure?
Which is probably my biggest fear, because it's anti-control, you know?
Yeah. Sounds scary.
Which I've not had in 3+ years, and I'm very thankful for that.
Okay. I have 2 more questions for this part.
Okay.
If it's all right with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. First one's short and sweet. Ask it how old it thinks you are.
This is interesting. It's actually talking with the logical part of me, and they're saying I'm 33 because I am 33.
Oh yeah, ask that logical part to step out, because remember, we already asked that part to step out. So if you can tell it that we really just want to spend about 2 more minutes.
Okay, just the loop, just the loop.
Yeah. What was the loop's real answer before the logical part told it slided it the note?
Three years old, because even as a child I had OCD.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I've always had a certain amount of OCD. It's one of the reasons why, as a child, I didn't like children, because they had no focus on anything. And so one day they want this, next day they want this, next day they want this, and I hated that so much.
Yeah. So that part might have, like you said, it was active when you were 3, and it might still be doing some of the same patterns and have some of the same solutions. You know, that would be the way a 3-year-old might protect himself from danger. He might just have to say to himself over and over, okay, this is dangerous, this is dangerous, you know? And so that might be part of...
It's an interesting thought. I've not had this thought before. It's interesting.
Yeah, it might kind of still... It might kind of still feel like you're 3. So go ahead and update it. Let it know your real age.
I am 33.
And the last question is, what would it like from you in the future? Or what does it need from you?
What would you want from me in the future? All I'm saying is just keep caring about being safe, because it's one of the reasons why you have the nice life that you have.
Yeah.
The stable life. One of the reasons why I use the word stable is because when bipolar has power, nothing is stable ever. Nothing could ever be stable. Even when you're depressed or when you're manic, there's nothing stable in your life.
Yeah.
And so it's using the word stable very correctly, I guess. Because it wants me to stay stable. Because I finally am stable now. And I'm very thankful for it, and I'm always really aware of what the fuck I have to do to stay stable.
Yeah. Good. Let it know you're thankful. And if you're done talking with that part, let some of those other parts know that you're thankful for them for giving you space. Even if sometimes they came back in, you know, they tried.
Yeah, the logic part is it's kind of saying right now, like, that it feels like it should be in every thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it has a really good reason for that too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
Okay, so you got what it's saying.
Absolutely.
It's saying like, I should be in every thought. I should be there. Why the fuck was I not there? Basically.
Yeah, it wants to know why everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because knowing everything makes me feel safe.
It's part of it. So thank you, Logic Part. Thank you, Logic Part, for doing what you do.
Thank you, Logic.
Okay, well, I don't have any more questions for the looping part.
I have a question for you. And now
go ahead.
we can go back to
we
questions.
can come back out of it.
My question is, now we have some awareness of these different parts or characters in my life. How do these, should I work on the relationships that they have with each other?
100%.
Okay.
And the better you know the parts, the better you'll see the relationships. And yeah, you'll start having a fearful part, and then you'll start having the looping part, and then you start having the logic part, and they're arguing with each other, and one's telling them to do this and the other's telling them to do that. And the better you know all of these parts, you can it's kind of like, I mean, I don't have kids, but I've worked with them a lot, and it's kind of like when you have a few kids arguing, and you can kind of see the bigger picture, and you also know, oh, that kid's hungry. That kid just needs a nap, and they don't know that very well sometimes.
Right.
And so,
they have no idea.
Right. And so you're able to kind of have that more mature and more just, I mean, to them, you're really kind of omnipotent in that you're running the show, and they're pulling strings, but you can.
It's very interesting that this IFS, thinking of different characters, different parts, is almost exactly what I do with my colors. I have my twirl of colors.
Yeah.
Like orange is creative, and red is passion, and happiness is purple, and all of these colors mean a different thing.
Right. Yeah. I think that those would all be parts in my IFS world.
It's kind of IFS thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, I know that I talk a lot, so thank you for your patience.
It's okay. Yeah, thank you for your time. And again, when that looping part comes up in the future, I think that the goal, at least, is that you'll have a little more direct access to it now that you've talked to it directly. And,
right.
It doesn't mean necessarily all suddenly it does whatever you want every time, but you may be able to recognize it faster and say, oh, hey, looping part. Yeah, I remember. And you might just also ask it what it really wants, or if it wants to be creative and do some problem solving, maybe that's what you offer it. When the looping comes up, you say, oh, wouldn't you rather do some problem solving? Let's think of a way to do that. Let's direct your energy over here or there. So another thing you can do is just check in with these parts every day. You just, even for a minute, you sit down and you say, hey, how you doing, looping part? How you doing, angry part? How you doing, logical part? Not and do that before there's an event. Do that in your quiet time in the morning or whatever, and just, I do it pretty much every day. I check in with 10 different parts of mine. Just say hi.
Right. Okay.
It's been nice talking with you again. It's always exciting.
Good talking with you. Good talking with you, James.
All right. Have a great day, and I'll keep you posted about this.
Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Zikri, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.